Hello everyone, welcome to the Everything Dodgeball podcast. I'm your host, Stefan Leitinger, and today I'm here with Giorgia Zanon. I hope I didn't butcher it too badly. So thank you for hopping on. You're here
Thank
on
you.
behalf of Team Italy. And
Yes.
so tell us a little bit about you and about your history in Dodgeball Italy.
So I started with playing cloth dodgeball in Italy in 2016. I was under 16 category. I grew up under Venetica Lions, the club that is in Veneto, so at the north of Italy. And I started with my national career, we can call that it that. I started in 2019, but my first national championship was the Czech in Switzerland in 2020.
Okay.
The girls are all like young like me or even younger. Some of them are veterans, but you already know the veteran one, like Nicole Brocchi, Jessica Campo, and we are under Clement Bucchi. And from since last year, we are also under Giorgio Baldi, the second coach of the team since actually the World Championship in Austria. Um, I don't know. That's
All
it.
right, perfect. For what club do you play? You said that
Um,
already, so.
no, actually, since last year, I moved in Bologna for university. And we created since last year a female team in Bologna because there is Orajobat, the male team, and also many teams for the under category, but there wasn't, it was like the only club who didn't have um, the female category, the female team. So we started last year, and we are still building, our our positions. We are still going, creating something new. So very slowly, but it's good. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm having fun with them.
Yeah, that is great. So starting a new club or a new team is always a bit of a struggle and it takes a few years, but it's always good to have a few veterans who know the process and know a lot about dodgeball. So that is cool that you're doing that and also progressing the female side of the Italian team. So when I think about Italy, I think there is a lot of history. You've been obviously as a nation like integrated into dodgeball quite from the early start, and you always have a lot of young players, at least that's from the outside, and also like I said, those few veterans who have been around for a long time. So I played against you at CAC, Euros, and
Yes.
World. So I've seen a lot of your playing pool, and then also at UDO, the tournament, there are also a lot of international Italian young teams. So how do you think, and how did the sport in Italy progress, and where is it currently at? So how many players do you have? How many teams? How is the league and stuff like that?
So I don't know the exact number, but you already know we are separated foam from cloth. So I'm
Mhm.
talking only for the cloth part.
Yeah.
We are, I guess, six clubs. Actually, right now, 6 to 8, because recently Empoli Swarm and Shamrock Ravenna helped founding other two clubs, but they are still, creating. So
Mhm.
um, we are not many actually right now, many teams right now, but there is all. I'm sorry, my English. Um, I our male category is way further than the female category. In the female, we only have 5 teams for the female category, just because the Bologna team arrived last year. So we are
Mm.
five right now, but we were four since last year, and we've been four since I don't know, since I entered the female category, I guess. I don't remember exactly. Um, in the male category, we have well, the veteran clubs, like the ancient clubs, we can call them that. Sciambro Ravenna, Venetica Lions. There is also Empoli Swarm. There is Oraggio Bat from Bologna. But also the new teams like Firenze, the one from Firenze, and there was one from Verona, but because of the COVID situation, it closed. So we are struggling, based talking about numbers, but we are actually growing slow, slowly since last year. We are trying to, uh, bring children mainly to play, because then when they will grow up, they'll be us. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much probably the same as for us. And I think bringing children in and really helping the younger demographic to get into the sport also helps a lot to build a foundation much stronger and to get more broad in the future. And that's what I saw the last few years from Italy, a lot of new faces and a lot of really young, talented players. And so it's always interesting because you have sort of a outside perspective for a nation or a
yes,
team. And so Italy obviously has been around for me from my perspective from the very beginning on, and they've always been one of the top nations, but never at the real complete top. And it was always like waiting for them to really reach the last step and get into those podium places. And obviously you've done that on the women's side. I think a
yes.
third place, right? That was um, the
Uh,
best
Uh,
result.
yes, no, the second place actually, but it was in 2020 in the chat. So as a European result, the best was third. Yes,
Yeah. Okay, so it was at the Central European Championships, the second place, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and we were beaten by Austria
Okay.
in the final. So
Okay. Yeah, I think I can remember that. So So, and I think there were lots of really big names and veterans playing. And every year you thought, or we thought, maybe this year is the time when Italy really will make that last step towards the podium. And then they had a lot of young players who were really passionate and really aggressive and athletic, but still the continuity of the team seemed to be a little bit lagging, and so it never reached its fullest potential up to now. And so, where do
yes.
you think like the progression of the national program has been over the last 3 or 4 years? Let's start after COVID. So, from 2022 to today, how do you think like the different divisions, like women's, men's, and mixed, how did they progress, and where is the trend heading toward?
Well, the female team has always been the one with more results for now, because we are few women in Italy, so we all know each other, and we actually play against each other since we started. So we know each other best. The male category instead, they are a lot of people, but they are growing really, really much in this past 2 years. They have been growing so much, and I think that um, in the next tournaments, I don't know if this European or the next, but they have a great. I expect them to develop, to do, go up in the rank. What's the word?
Yeah, so that
To
you think they're gonna do really well in the future
yes,
because like their trend, and there is lots of potential there, and
Yes,
they're
thank you.
basically getting
Potential.
better each year. Yeah.
They have a great potential right now. There are many young people that are entering the athletes world athletes atmosphere panorama. I don't know.
Hmm.
And since this year, this European Championship, they'll have also Ghiselli as the new coach.
Hmm.
There will be two coaches. So Strazzari, the last coach, the coach that coached for them also in the World Cup, World Championship, but also with him there will be Ghiselli. So with his experience, I think that they will do so much, so much. They are doing a great job at the trainings,
Hmm.
and I really believe in them.
Okay, that is awesome to hear. Because, yeah, I think there are so many talented players, and we've seen it at the CEC this year in Czechia, where the second team of your men teams won against our first team in, I think, the
Yes,
group stages. So there was like a little bit a glimpse of that talent and potential shining through. So I'm really looking forward to what the different teams bring to the European Championships this year to Limerick. And so
me
obviously
too.
I've played a lot of against your women's team as a coach. So I've seen a lot of your team, and you've obviously at the World Cup or at the World Championships, you've played against us in the quarterfinals, which is never the best result. And
Yeah,
and before that,
we
you
weren't
did,
thrilled.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is like the goal, or what do you expect from your team for this European Championships?
Well, we are working on a type of playing that is not the same as the World Cup. We watched many games during trainings, and we are trying to, up, upgrade our style. We are trying to correct our mistakes sometimes because we are so aggressive. We tend to, you know, um, have too much energy in some in some moments where it shouldn't be there. But we are training for, trying to understand what went wrong, because we arrived sixth at the World Cup, and me and our coaches and my teammates really believe that we could have gone further, actually. But we were anyways happy because the word dodgeball is growing. So we have to understand um, what we have to change to grow with it. You know, Another team that is growing so fast, and personally, I am really scared of them. Are French, are the French girls. The French female team. They are also young. They are all um, very growing so much in these past years. So we've always won against them, but I guess we'll never know because I am really scared of them. They are unpredictable. So we are just trying to understand our mistakes and, um, you know,
For
trying
sure.
to calm down sometimes, but
Yeah.
also accelerate in other times during the game. It depends on who we are against. So I guess
Okay.
we'll
Yeah.
see at the Euros.
Cool. So, because as again coming from the outside, and maybe that's a little bit stereotypical as well, but when I think about the Italian teams, whether it's men's, mixed, or women's, I always think like they have two modes, and the one is a lot of passion, a lot of aggression, a lot of excitement, and really a lot of self confidence, and that is where they shine, and they get really aggressive, and they can beat basically everyone. But once you break that spirit, then they really start to degrade mentally, emotionally, and it seems like they lose a lot of energy. and it feels like
Yes.
there is no in between from the outside. So you can really hammer everyone at your best, but once that spirit isn't there anymore, it seems like you're a completely different team. So, and you said you wanted to
Yes.
play more calm. Is that something you are aware of, or is that something you would perceive from the inside as well, that that is a trademark or has been in the past?
We are very aware of that actually. I can talk for the male and the mixed team. I can only talk for the female team, but yes, you are absolutely right. As soon as we break a rhythm, we just break down emotionally, mentally, and we have to work on that. I am one of the worst players in the team in this matter, actually. So this year in Bologna helped me a lot, playing with girls that don't know how to play. So I have to teach them and show them that you don't need to cry on the court because it's really bad for your game. So, me personally, I'm trying to grow from this point of view, but also the national team, the girls of the Italian national team, we are aware of this problem and we are trying somehow to change things. But the coaches are making us work from the technical and um, I don't know, like uh, thinking in the game part of. Yeah, I'm sorry, my English is
Yeah,
very bad.
no worries.
I don't know, the
Okay,
technical
so
part. We are trying to evolve on the technical part, and outside the court, we are working on the mental part.
mhm.
So we'll see.
And what are steps that you have personally taken, or what are like experiences over the last few years that have helped you to maybe move that in the right direction? And what are you doing for the team to prepare that for that mental side of the game?
Well, my breaking point, my point of awareness of this problem was, in fact, starting this new team here. So since I started to play with them, I understood what the problem was, how I could solve the problem, and when I play with players that are even better and at the same level as me, so the national team, uh, I am still struggling with this problem, but we are trying as a team to support each other. We try to talk more, have physical relation hugs. I don't know, just a handshake or a high five just to cheer us up, one each other, one another. Sorry, one another. So we are still discovering. I don't have any uh, physical example, any material example. I just we're getting there. We have all to I guess mature since we are young, not so young like the French, but
Yeah.
we are still young and we have new players coming up. So it's it's hard, but since I play with the veterans since 5 years ago, I am, we are trying to understand each other. When there is a breaking point for one, we we sometimes we just sing for her just to make her laugh, and sometimes it works.
Yeah.
um it depends on the situation. Trainings are a lot different from Europe championship, European or world championship. So we'll see with the adrenaline and the difficulties we'll have abroad. For
Mhm.
now, we are getting somewhere, but we'll see at the Euros if it's true or if we have to change something else.
For sure. But then it's good to hear that you like that you are working on that and that you feel you're moving in the right direction, because I think it's such a big issue or such a big topic in dodgeball, in sports in general. Obviously the mental side is a big thing, but as a coach of a lot of female teams, I think it's often good to have that outside perspective, as you just said, with a new team and coaching other people and seeing how they react on court and trying to be like a mental supporter for them. You might see some things that maybe happen to you in those situations as well, and once you take a step back, it's sometimes you realize stuff about yourself as well. And
Yes,
I think dodgeball is such a game of momentum and self-confidence. So if you feel it, if you're 100% convinced of your actions and you have to make so many fast decisions, then that's the breaking point between making a catch or fumbling it, making a hit or slightly missing.
yes.
And
You have
so
you have to really believe in what you're doing, really, really believe. Otherwise, you won't close that catch, even if it's
exactly,
easy. So yeah,
exactly.
self-confidence.
Yeah, because obviously you've played dodgeball for a long time, and the Italian, especially the women's team, has played for a long time, and they all know that they can catch, they can throw, they can play dodgeball. They are really capable athletes, but that mental aspect of the game is something that really makes or breaks a team, especially in those moments where it counts. So it can be that you're really great in the group stages, and once that tight game against maybe the French women's team where you have a little bit of anxiety and you know it's going to be tough and they're really strong and you don't know what to expect, that's where the mental part comes in. So I think it's really important to work on that. And as a coach, for the Austrian women's team, that is something I always have in my mind. Basically, I don't need to teach them how to throw a ball or catch a ball. They are really good at that. But keeping the
Yes,
team spirit alive and giving them or helping them maintain that self confidence and their belief in their own abilities, that's all that is required. Because once players have that, then everything clicks. And once they lose that, then basically you're done playing dodgeball. So yeah,
yeah,
it's so that's a tough thing because it's much easier and well, it's not easy, but at least you have a methodical approach to maybe how to throw, how to execute tactical things. But the
yes.
mental
You
aspect, I
can
feel like,
you can train so much for the technical aspects,
yeah,
so much, and it's what we are doing. But you can't. You have to be in the situation to work on the mental part, the emotional part. So
yeah.
if yeah, it's totally another thing, and you can't actually during the trainings work on that. So it's tough, I know.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
So we try to train it with putting people in difficult situations and trying to apply some pressure. Obviously it's not the same, but really trying to make people feel some pressure and under that pressure trying to still perform well and trying to also get the feeling of a team spirit that you know you're not going to be punished for mistakes, you're not going to be judged. Everyone goes through the same thing and it is a team sport. So you win and lose as a team. So your job is always to support your team, no matter what. And the first thing for that is to work on yourself and really try to be a positive influence, and then try if you can extend that for the team. And so I think it's cool that you sing for each other, that you hug each other, and like those little um like signs of support are really important, and in the right moments they can make a big difference. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
obviously cool to hear. I hope I you manage it in the next 4 or 5 weeks. We don't have too much time left, and that you can bring that to Limerick, and we'll see a really robust Italian team
Yeah.
that can play off that emotion but does not get distracted or destroyed by it. Um,
Yes.
so for you personally, what is like the most emotional moment that you had in your dodgeball career? Can be good, can be bad, maybe both.
Well, I used to struggle with panic attacks, and in the World Championship in Canada, during this the final, third, fourth place that we lost. I had a panic attack during that game because I couldn't. It was like my favorite, my first World Cup. So I had a lot of pressure. There was only one court with all the cameras pointing at us, and every mistake was seen by everyone. I was under a lot of pressure. So it was I had this panic attack in front of everyone because I couldn't go outside. So that was the biggest emotional um, moment of my dodgeball, let's call it, career. Um,
Okay, yeah,
yeah, but also I have a really good one when I won the MVP during Udo,
yeah,
the French tournament in, I guess, 2 years ago, if I
yeah.
remember correctly. And that was really, really a good feeling. Really, really a good feeling. Yeah.
I can relate. That is awesome. Yeah. So I think, did you learn something from that panic attack? So you obviously that was the biggest stage of your professional dodgeball career, a World Cup third place final, and yeah, in Edmonton, the court and the whole atmosphere was really quite a lot of pressure and a lot of attention. So you went through that panic attack, but you got through it. So did you take anything positive away from that in the end, where you learned from that situation and learned that even though that happened and that probably was really, really tough, you lived on
Yeah.
and nothing too bad
Yes.
happened and you learned a lot from it.
Yes. I learned how I loved I am in the Italian panoramic from my team, the girls' team, but also from the male and mixed team, from all my, uh, being a few players in Italy, we all know each other, so we all care for each other. And that was really, really good because I was 18, if I remember, 18, 19. So it was really good to feel like a part of something greater, bigger, and that it wasn't just me. Sometimes when I play dodgeball, I tend to feel a little alone in the court because I don't know, I can communicate sometimes with other players, but in that moment I understood that it's not like that, and I always have to remember that it's a team sport. So that was really great. And then I always I al um almost also sorry, also discovered that the word dodgeball atmosphere was so let's call it non-toxic because many players from other teams, other nations came to me asking me how if I was okay, if what happened, and I felt like I was seen by players um, of um, more importance than me. I don't know how to put that, um, and it felt really, really good being recognized as a player, and because then they talked to me also about how I played on the court, how we as Italy played the whole tournament, not just the final. So it was really, really good. The awareness of, being a part of a bigger world that is the dodgeball. So I don't know, that was really great.
That is beautiful. That is
Yeah.
absolutely great to hear because I think that is such an important thing to take away from that. You had this really high pressure situation, but you're not in there alone and you have a team that supports you and you have a community that is really open and really supportive and you can really learn from that and grow so much as a person. So
Yes.
maybe at that point you were not mature enough, not old enough, and to handle that kind of situation. But you definitely learned from that, and next time it's gonna feel much different. And learning how people feel about you and how supported you are, and that you're not judged for maybe not
Yes, that is
being
important.
prepared for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so important, and I think that is a really good takeaway for everyone. For everyone to, it is a team sport, and sometimes you need to help your teammates out in order for them to help you out. And yeah, that's a good point for that, I think, to end. And we are a bit on a time limit as you have to catch a train. So, last
Yes.
question I've asked this of everyone for this series is, what are the goals for Limerick for Italy's women's national team? And what is your prediction of the top 5 spots in the women's category?
So, our goal is to strengthen our team, our team as people. So
Mhm.
we also want to reach the highest place we can, but also we want to be a really strong team because we have a long journey in front of us. It's not just Limerick, but if we can win, actually, it will be really, really good. My prediction will be for this year's first place for the female team. You mean?
Yeah.
Okay. First place, Austria. Mm, Second place, Wales. Third place, Italy. And fourth place, England. I really hope so. Um, we are working on this. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Okay. That is a
And
great prediction. Fifth place.
yeah,
Yeah.
the fifth, uh, I I don't know. Maybe Northern Ireland or French or
Hmm.
the France, one
Okay.
of those two. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that you put yourself ahead of England. That shows confidence
Yeah.
and that shows that you believe in your team. What makes you think that Wales is gonna get the second place?
We played against them in Austria at the World
Hmm.
Champions, and I I really was stunned by how much they've grown since the last tournament. So I am expecting that they continued their growing as a team. So I expect them to be really really strong. So I hope we will beat them. They are on our pool, so
Yeah.
I really hope that we will beat them. But I am not so sure. I will do my best to do that, but
Okay.
it's not up just to me. So we'll see as a team if we can. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I guess we'll see.
All right. Sounds perfect. But that is a cool prediction. I think that is not a prediction everyone would have picked, and I will be looking forward to seeing it. If you predicted right, you get a drink at the after party from me. And
Yoo-hoo!
we'll see you in Limerick. And I hope to see a great, strong Italian team. Thank you for coming on to the podcast. This has been absolutely
Thank
fun
you for
and
calling me.
interesting. And so now catch that train. And with this,
Yeah.
keep throwing those balls, try not to get caught, and take care, everyone.